Welcome back to the Critics Corner. I'm Andrew Branca with the Waxahachie Sun. I'm here with my friend, colleague, and future loan shark, Mr. David Dunn with Southlake Style Magazine. How are you doing today, David?
I would say I'm doing well, but unfortunately, I watched the 94th Academy Awards and I'm very unwell. I'm very, very, very unwell.
Mm,
But the
yeah,
crowd.
yeah. I don't know what they're smoking out in Hollywood. See Will Smith, Pimp Slap, Chris Rock on stage. I kind of thought it was staged, but obviously he was very, very upset and does not know how to take a joke.
Oh, it was a bad joke in the first place, but
I'm not saying it was a good joke.
it was. I don't know. Every year I expect not to be surprised by the Oscars, and what happened the next year, I get surprised in the worst way imaginable. I can't. But we're not here to relive the horrors of Sunday night. We're here to relish in good movies, including the one we're talking about today.
Yes, and it's a fantastic movie. I wish I would have seen it earlier, but alas, I did not. I actually saw it on my vacation while I was traveling to Philadelphia. Uh, Odd coincidence, since we're talking about Will Smith here. But I saw it on the airplane, and it's House of Gucci. It's Adam Driver and Lady Gaga's newest movie. So before we dive into this, here's a trailer for House of Gucci.
It was a name that sounded so sweet, so seductive. Synonymous with worth, style, power. But that name was a curse too.
I've been a Gucci all my life.
Your name is in the history books.
Paolo, you are Gucci, you need to dress the part.
It's chic. Gucci needs new blood. It's time to take out the trash.
They're my family.
So am I.
You picked a real firecracker.
She's a handful.
Bravo. I don't consider myself to be a particularly ethical person, but I am fair.
Can you keep a secret?
Father, Son, and House of Gucci.
Well, the trailer definitely gives us an idea of what this movie is about, but if you can share your insight with our viewers here, David, that'd be great.
Yes, sir. So, as the trailer so aptly describes, Father, Son, House of Gucci tells the story of the Gucci family, the family behind those iconic, ridiculous red, green, and gold Gucci bags you see in all those high brand fashion stores. Lady Gaga plays Patrizia, who marries Maurizio Gucci, played by Adam Driver, and she kind of marries into the family of the Guccis, which includes Al Pacino, Jeremy Irons, and surprisingly Jared Leto in what I describe as the best on-screen Super Mario performance I've ever seen. Wow. I gotta tell you, man, as a guy who is nerdy and loves comic books and movies at his heart, I went into this movie not giving a rat's behind about the Gucci's. I don't care about fashion. I don't care about handbags. I don't care about the Gucci's. I don't care about the Gucci brand. I cared about none of this going into it. I'm like, I don't want to see this Kardashian drama. Like, why? I get enough of that on reality TV. Why do I need this? But what intrigued me about this movie was Ridley Scott, the director attached to this movie, who's brought to us a lot of amazing movies, from Alien to Gladiator to Blade Runner to, more recently, The Last Duel, which, if you haven't seen it yet, you really need to. It's incredible movie, easily one of the best of the year. Furious wasn't nominated at the Oscars. So I was a little intrigued. I was like, okay, Ridley Scott doing a movie about the Gucci's. I am intrigued nonetheless. And my intrigue paid off in big ways, man. House of Gucci is highly dramatic, tense, anxious, and really high stakes crime thriller that really does a good job showing the behind the scenes politics of high end fashion. I mean, good gravy. I went into this thing not caring at all about the Gucci family, and I went out of this thing completely enamored with its story, its pathos, its Shakespearean tragic notes. Good golly, this is why I love Ridley Scott. He takes what seems to be very, very boring concepts and breathes amazing life and vigor into it. I was very, very impressed by this movie.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great movie. Like you, I really don't care for a lot of name brand stuff. I mean, I don't own anything Gucci because, one, I can't afford it, and two, if a knockoff looks like Gucci or a Rolex or something, I'll buy the knockoff. Before I'll spend $500 on a watch or
Exactly.
whatever, or shoes or whatever it is.
Yeah, we're journalists. We're not rich for that.
Yeah, we're poor. I'll go with the Folex watch instead of the Rolex.
Exactly.
So I really didn't care, but it intrigued me that Adam Driver was in this, and Adam Driver is really known for just doing some really good stuff. Marriage Story. He did that one movie with Daniel Craig. That was really good. He's done a bunch, and I've really enjoyed seeing his career develop as an actor. And then you have Lady Gaga, who's more known for her outlandish exploits as a pop star, who has been in one really notable movie that came out a few years ago. A Star is Born, and she was really great in that. It's like, well, she's good, and it was good in that. Maybe she can be good in this, and I was pleasantly surprised. And you're right, it's definitely kind of a Kardashian kind of drama kind of thing going on. And yeah, that one guy in the Gucci family looks like Super Mario. He just needed a plunger. I mean, it was really bad.
Wait. Well, okay, we'll come back to Jared Leto. I'll stick on the positives for a minute. Yes, on the note of Adam Driver and Lady Gaga, absolutely agree with all of that. Lady Gaga in particular, it's been amazing watching her film career, because I personally was not the biggest fan of her during her pop career, with her doing all these weird, lavish, wild stunts and public exposés and meat suits. I'm like, I don't care about all this.
2 words: meat dress.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah. But seeing her in A Star is Born, seeing how much raw energy and power and emotion and tragedy she brought to that character, you could tell she had a lot of heart to offer. So you're like, okay, I'm very interested to see where her career goes from here. Her follow-up in House of Gucci is perfect. And I don't use that word very often, but Her performance in this movie is flawless. Whereas her character in A Star Is Born was kind of the underdog, you know, the rags to riches kind of story, the sympathetic character that you fall in love with so quickly. Lady Gaga's role in House of Gucci is the opposite. She is this very cold, calculated, methodical, really kind of evil woman that is very opportunistic and very conniving and very manipulative to get what she wants. It's fascinating because you feel like she should be the villain of this movie, and in many ways she is, but she's also not. She's the main character. She's the main eyes you see the whole lens of the movie through. And it's amazing to see her descent to go from like this loving daughter of this small end construction company to Mrs. Gucci, and to see what she'll do and what she'll sacrifice and what she will sink to in order to hold on to that title. She's kind of terrifying in this movie, man.
Yeah, it's very Shakespearean-esque, you know. Money corrupts, and money corrupts absolutely. And you know, it was very well shown in this movie that, you know, what money can do to a person, and that power and that greed, and if you're not careful, it can really change you. And just reading more about the actual person who Lady Gaga portrayed, man, she was just she's a terrible person. I mean, she's just this terrible person. And I've read a number of stories about her. You know, I'm not going to tell you how the movie what happens, but just look her up. She's just
horrible woman. Lady Gaga does an amazing job portraying her. It blows my mind she wasn't nominated for an Oscar, but I'm also not surprised because it's the Oscars and they make horrible decisions every year. This is half of them for this year's ceremony, but that's another thing entirely. I want to go back to something you said. Did you say Jared Leto gives a bad performance in this movie, Andy?
No, what did I say? You thought I said?
I thought you said he gave a bad performance.
No, I said all he needed was a plunger and he'd look like Super Mario.
Okay, then great. We're in agreement. Yes.
No, I thought Jared Leto was really good in the role, and oh my gosh, the makeup that they put on him to transform him into this, I guess, oaf-like character.
It amazes me. This is Jared Leto, the front man for 30 Seconds to Mars, right? Won an Oscar for Dallas Buyers Club. He probably bags more women in a weekend than I will my entire life, right? He's just a man's man through and through. He's invisible in this movie. He is Jared Leto is not in this movie. The whole time he is in this movie, Paolo Gucci is there instead, who is this oafish, silly, ridiculous, clumsy, stupid character that would trip over his own Gucci shoes if you gave him the opportunity to.
Yeah.
The fact that Jared Leto is playing this guy and you do not see Jared Leto anywhere in his performance, the success is twofold. Not only in Jared Leto's performance of Paolo Gucci, but also in the makeup work. I was so impressed at how he was completely erased into this character. It's a level of acting and makeup work you rarely see nowadays. It's amazing to see it.
I mean, the only other comparable example to Jared Leto is the makeup that they use for the Penguin.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very fair comparison. Because again, Colin Farrell, you don't see him as the Penguin, but did an amazing job immersing him in this character. And they kind of did the same thing with Jared Leto here. I was so impressed by so many different aspects of this movie, Andy, from the writing to the directing to the editing by Claire Simpson. The music by Harry Gregson-Williams was very fancy and very high end, a lot like the Gucci bags are. It's amazing. as someone who came into this not caring at all about the Gucci family, I left completely entranced by their story. It's amazing what Ridley Scott accomplishes here. It's amazing how he turns this around for his audiences.
I would say it's definitely a slow starter, but it definitely, like a snowball going down a mountain, it definitely picks up more snow and gains more speed as it goes along.
Yeah.
I thought the whole intrigue and the just how the characters transformed from two very loving individuals who were madly in love with each other to becoming two individuals who are basically living in the same house but living very separate lives, and how they grew very apart until they a decision was made to end a relationship. I thought how they did that was very well, and just how the characters really changed over time, and not just the two main ones, but kind of how the actions of the two main ones really affected the entire Gucci family. I thought that was very intriguing and very interesting, personally.
It's amazing how much they're able to do with this story, and how much they're able to illustrate how much greed can bring down an entire family, right? Because no spoilers, but how everybody starts in this movie, including Patrizia, they're in completely different places by the end of the movie. And I find that very poetic, how riches and wealth and power and greed really kind of poison the soul. I love that. And I love how this movie kind of enunciates on that point. It's so well done.
Well, and even throughout the movie, Maurizio even kind of warns Patricia, hey, I don't want to be involved with my family for that reason. He kind of foreshadowed what was going to happen to his life if he got involved in that, I guess, cult of Gucci, so to speak.
Sure.
So, well, it's come that time where we need to give a rating for this movie. So out of 10, what would you give House of Gucci here?
I would give House Gucci a solid 9. I kind of agree with you. It is a little bit of a gradual start. It is a little bit of a slow start. It does take some time to get through the first act as you introduce all the characters and you build up, the whole plot at large. But when you get to the end, the payoff is so huge. The last line in this movie still sticks with me. It leaves such an imprint on you. A lot like, putting a brand on a handbag, so to speak.
I'll have to give this movie an 8. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. It's just a little bit of a slow burn at the beginning, but it definitely picks up. It's worth watching, and it's good. I mean, I'm looking forward to what Adam Driver and Lady Gaga does next in their careers, and I hope it's at least as good as this or better.
Absolutely.
So that's going to do it for today. I look forward to our next review. So if you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please give us a like or give us a comment or send us an email or carrier pigeon or whatever, and we'll be glad to get back with you. So that's going to do it for today. So we will see you guys back next week at the cinema. Take care.
See y'all next week, everybody.